Hello and welcome to the 200th video from oorail. Now this video has been a long time coming, mainly because I've been waiting for this particular locomotive to come out. Now this is the Dapol Class 52 Western diesel hydraulic locomotive. Now you might be thinking, well, these have been out for a couple of months. Well, this particular version of it came out on Wednesday. I ordered it late Wednesday night and Hatton's dispatched it to us on Thursday, and it showed up here courtesy of DHL on Friday afternoon. So within 48 hours from me ordering it, it showed up here at my house. So what is it? Well, this is Western Centurion. It is the Class 52 in BR Blue with the running number D1026 with full yellow ends. Now you might be wondering why I was waiting for this particular version. Well, the reason I've been waiting for this particular version is that it's fully factory weathered. And if you've seen the photos online, the thing looks fantastic. Right? So while the Class 52 from Dapol by itself is a brilliant model, this has been well worth the wait. So without further ado, let's go take it out of the box. So before you change the channel, you are actually watching a oorail video. I know I don't normally show the locomotive coming out of the box. I think most people are smart enough to figure out how to get the loco out of the box. But since this is the very first Dapol locomotive that we've actually reviewed, we're going to go ahead and show you exactly how it comes out of the box. So it's got a kind of a fairly thick Helsian style box, and if we slowly just wiggle it here, it comes up like that. So you got your usual sort of box like so. Has a foam protective insert protecting the top of it, so we'll remove that, set it to one side, and what we're left with is the locomotive. Now you can't see that, it's in that usual protective thing here, and I haven't actually taken this out. This is the first time I've actually seen this. So you can see here it comes with some accessories. Looks like it comes with some rods, the cow catchers, you can see there, and it also comes with some numbering and some other details as well. We'll take a look at those in a closer look in a minute. Let's go ahead and just take the locomotive out of the box. So there's nothing else there, but we'll show you that the box did come with this sort of insert here for the extra details. So I'm going to go set that aside, like so. And it's your standard packaging, so you just take one end and slide that off like so. So you got your typical plastic insert and then the actual loco itself. It does have these reinforced rubber pieces on all sides, which is pretty nice. It comes with an instruction booklet with some history of the locomotive, the specs, and your typical instructions. Also has where to oil the locomotive and how to install the DCC decoder. Let's see if there's anything of interest in here. Has where to put the 21-pin blanking plug, optional DCC sound decoder, and very nice, it shows you exactly where to put all of the detailed pieces. Take note, folks in Bachman and Hornby, where I've had to look at some photos to figure out where to put some stuff in the past. So it's very nice. Alright, let's see what else it came with. Also came with Dapol's no cribble 24-month mechanical warranty. It looks like they want your customer information and so on, so we'll take a look at that later on and fold that up. And so probably the most important piece is the loco itself. So let's flip that over. It's the usual, pull that back and pops out. It's very robust like so, and then we're going to go, without manhandling the locomotive, we're going to go and pick it up and place it down here on the roadway. Okay. So, that there is the Western Centurion. It's a looks fantastically weathered. Looks like it already has the cow catcher stuff in front, so I'm not quite sure. I guess they've given you extra ones to take a look at that. But yeah, it's looking pretty nice. So I'm gonna go put this up on the layout, and we'll show you it running. Alright, so before I show you this running on the track, one thing I thought I'd point out was earlier I said there was this kind of valence cow catcher that was sitting there in the front. They're often the things you have to replace on the Hornby model of the Class 52. What actually you have is they've given you two different versions. So there's a full solid version and there's a slotted version. And the reason they've given you a slotted version and a full solid version is the slotted version is for the NEM coupling. So in on this little pile of extras here, there's actually a NEM coupling for this thing. So on one end of the locomotive, they've actually got the full solid version with no hole for the coupler, and then on the rear of the locomotive here, they actually have the slotted version of the valence or cow catcher in place, and you can, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's actually a slot there where you can see through and get to the NEM socket. So we're going to go ahead and put the NEM coupling in this before we go and run it on the layout. But other than that, it looks like a fantastic model. You can see here the weathering on the loco is brilliant. You even got the windows weathered correctly with the wiper blades and so on. So we're going to go and check it out on the layout, let it run in for a while, and hopefully you'll enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so now that the loco has been run in, we're going to go ahead and open it up. One of the reasons that we're going to go ahead and open it up is I need to apply these headcoat stickers, and as you saw there from the running in video, it's just blaring white light all over the place. Now, from the instructions, it's not very clear whether or not you stick the headcoat stickers directly on the outside, or if you're supposed to put them on the inside. It just has an arrow pointing to the front end here. These are weathered on the outside, and if you were to stick the stickers directly on the outside, it would look kind of not so great. So I'm thinking that these are supposed to go on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and see if there's a place to put the headcoats on the inside of the locomotive. I'm also going to open it up so you guys can take a look, since this is the first Dapwall locomotive we've looked at. So what I'm actually going to use is the box that it came in. It's got some nice foam padding there. So we're going to basically just use this to protect the locomotive while we take it apart. And to take it apart, you're just going to need a small Phillips screwdriver. So just to be very careful with the loco here, we're going to go and put it upside down in the case like so, and then we can just move this like that to work on it. Very simple. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove these screws, and there are 4 screws, and hopefully it will come out easily. That's the first one, and it's probably going to be useful to have a pair of tweezers to remove these. So I'm going to go grab a pair of tweezers. Maybe I can use something I have laying around here in the lab, or I guess I could just turn it upside down. I'll go ahead and just turn it upside down. Yep, there's the first screw. And there's two on each side. And you just have to tilt the bogey a little bit. And these are actually coming out pretty easily. This one I might be able to get it out without tilting it upside down. Yep, there's that. I'll do the other end as well. Yep, these are in there very, very loose, so it doesn't take much to get them out. Definitely going to need to either turn upside down or have a pair of tweezers because they are quite small. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually putting them in the exact space on either side of the box that they've come out of, so that when I put the loco back together, I am putting the screws back in the same place. Okay, so hopefully if I flip this around, it should, oh yeah, look at that, very easily come apart. There is a wire there that's attached to the board. I'm going to, not sure, it looks like it goes for the lighting on either end. So I can't gain access if I tilt this around like so. You can see I can't actually gain access to the head codes through there. So I'm going to have to disconnect this from the board and see if I can figure out how to take that apart. There we go. It's a little stiff. So let's show you the two parts now. You got the body shell, and I'll show the inside of it there. You can see got the fan mechanisms, and then the wiring is quite neatly up in there to either end. So this is the piece that we're actually going to need to work on. But you can also see the inside of the loco there too. If I put it down in front of the camera. And there's a space there for the sound decoder if you need it. And that's the alright. So this part we don't really need to worry about, so I'm going to set it aside. Like so. And I'm going to see if I can figure out how to get this out. Okay, so I'm going to go look at the instructions real quick, see if it tells me, and we'll continue the video in a minute. Okay, so after taking a very good look at the underside here of this, it seems to be in there very well. I just need to go ahead and stick the head codes on here, and they should turn out pretty okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So the head codes in here see come in a variety of different options. I'm going to go with the 1Z14. If you see here, they're actually broken down. Looks to be in the appropriate codes, and I actually found 1Z14 on a picture of Western Centurion, so it's a legitimate train head code for it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on, and then we'll show you the end results. Okay, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, so you can see the end result. You got to remember that the end that lines up with the sound decoder end is actually the front. So you need to make sure the one with the drop cable on the other end for the lights is actually the end with the NEM coupler. So you want to make sure that the head code you put in place is the one for the train that you want to run. And I'm also going to put a head code on the reverse end, and I think I'm going to go with the 5B23. So I'll put that on, and I'll reassemble the logo, and we'll show it to you running on the layout. Okay, so I went ahead and put actually 7B33 on the other end. 7 indicates that it's actually an express freight train, and then on this end we have the 1Z, which indicates that it is a express passenger train. So that kind of covers me. Pretty much I can just flip the logo around to do different services. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back together, and we'll see what effect the lighting has then with the head code stickers in place. Just to show you that it does go back on really easily. I was able to clip that in there without any problems. All the wires look okay, and so to put it back together, you simply drop that in place and then put the screws back in. So I'm going to screw it back together, and hopefully it'll still work. Okay, so that's the Western Centurion from Dapol. Its running number is D1026. Now, the Western Centurion was built on the 24th of December 1963 at Swindon, and it was taken out of service on the 6th of October 1975, and I believe it was eventually scrapped around the 10th of November 1975. It ultimately went about 1,100,444,000 miles in its several years of service, and it was one of a total of 74 Class 52s that were built. Now, this particular model is suitable. I'm not quite sure when Western Centurion was painted in BR blue, but the Westerns were first painted in BR blue starting in 1966 with D1048, and then the very last Western to be painted in BR blue was D1046 in May 1971. So from 1966 to 1971, those logos were painted in BR blue, and then obviously they retained that livery until they were taken out of service in the mid to late 1970s. So this particular model, with a bit of artistic license, you could probably run it in an era based from 1966 all the way up to when it was taken out of service on the 6th of October 1975, so it's a pretty good range. The Class 52 was used both for passenger as well as freight, so it was for mixed traffic, and it was commonly seen with a rake of Mach 2 coaches, as you've seen here. These Mach 2 coaches that we're using are from Bachmann, and as you can see, the Class 52 from Dapol had no problems pulling it. Now the Class 52s were built at both Swindon and Crewe, and they were stationed in a wide variety of locations. A lot of them were stationed at Bristol Bath Road, which is close to the area where we have this particular section of the layout modeled or loosely based off of. Probably the coolest thing about the Class 52 was that it was fitted with 2 engines that were tied to 2 hydraulic transmissions, and so it's a very powerful locomotive. Now if you want to see exactly how this locomotive worked, as well as a ton of really cool information on the Western as a class in general, you should check out the Western Locomotive Association's website, and that is www.westernloco.com. So that's www.westernloco.com. They have a pretty cool section on their website under education that shows you all the internal workings of the Class 52, as well as how the things fit together all the way up to the cooling fans. It also had some nice information on the history of the locomotive, as well as the locomotives that are still in preservation today. They also have a list of where you can see Class 52s today, so if you'd like to check out the real thing, head over to their website and you can find out where the next tours and sessions where the locomotives are running can be found. The other cool thing that they have on their website is they actually have some list of their current drivers, as well as their driver education classes. So it is possible, if you're old enough and you're willing to take the class, to actually get a chance to drive a real Western locomotive. So if you'd like to check that out, head on over to www.westernloco.com, and obviously they're doing a fantastic job maintaining and keeping those locos in preservation. So if you're inclined, they're always, I'm sure, interested in getting some donations as well, which I think you can do via their website. Now, another interesting fact about the Class 52 is that it's a diesel hydraulic locomotive. So you may have seen a lot of the diesel locomotives that British Rail had were either diesel mechanical for a lot of the early shunters, or the vast majority of locomotives that were diesel based were diesel electric. So you had diesel engines that powered an electric generator, and then that drove the locomotive. So there were other diesel hydraulic locomotives that BR experimented with. You had the not so successful Class 21s, the slightly more successful Class 22s, and then the reasonably successful Class 42s, or warship class. Now the Class 42s were also a twin-engined locomotive, and a lot of the research behind those locos was used then in the Western design as well. So that's basically it for this particular model. It works fantastically well. We'll do a few more videos of it over the coming weeks, and of course you'll see it feature quite a bit now on our layout. It is our first Dapol locomotive, and so far I've been quite impressed with it. The only slight letdown with the locomotive are the head codes. The head codes that we did apply, had to apply them to the outside of the locomotive, so you kind of don't have that weathered effect on the head code. And if you look at some of our previous videos, particularly the Bachmann Class 46, Bachmann did a fantastic job with the weathering of the head codes. Now I know it makes it a little more static, like you can't select the head code yourself, but to be honest, I would have preferred the better looking head code on the front of the locomotive than the option to be able to select or change it myself. So perhaps Dapol, when you weather these things next time, you might take that into consideration. But other than that, that's really the only flaw I could find with this locomotive. The extra detailing is fantastic, and there's a lot of other very cool details and added details to it. It runs fantastically well. I've only ran it in for about 35-40 minutes in each direction, and it doesn't have any problems hauling all these Mach 2 coaches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 Bachmann Mach 2 coaches that it's hauling, and it doesn't seem to have much of a problem. I think I had the Bachmann DC controller set on about 55%, and it wasn't giving any trouble, and there's quite a lot of curves on this particular layout. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the 200th video. We'll leave you with some more shots of the locomotive going around the layout, and we'll also do a more detailed review on the Western Centurion, along with the usual speed tests and so on at a later date. You should see it in the near future. So if you have any comments or suggestions or anything you'd like us to show you in the near future, please feel free to use our community. You can use the comments on this video or in others, or you can message us on Twitter using the hashtag @oorail or #oorail. We also have started to launch our new website. It's still in a very early stage, but it's a lot better than the placeholder that we had in place. So if you go to www.oorail.co.uk, you will find our website there, and right now some of the links will just take you to different YouTube locations, or you'll find the community and forums and so on for on Google Plus that we're using. But it's a great way to interact with us, and if you have any suggestions, like we said, or you want to see a particular type of locomotive, feel free to put in a request and we'll see if we can accommodate you. If you have any questions or you need assistance, we'll gladly help you out. And of course, I know it's a bit late, but we do have our 1,000 subscriber special video coming up in the near future. I'm going to try to get it out in the next week or two. So that should be it, I think, for now. So I'm going to stop rambling, and I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the video.